Hello again, welcome to Math is Fun by PK. In continuation of our previous video, we are looking at addition and subtraction of common fractions. Basically, in the first video, we're looking at common fractions with the same denominator, which are in mathematics we call it like fractions. Okay. In this video, we will move a bit higher, and that is to work on addition and subtraction of common fractions, having one denominator as a factor of the other denominator. So basically, the one denominator can divide the other denominator. So let's start from here and see, having 1 out of 3 being added to 2 out of 9. So we have 1 out of 3 being added to 2 out of 9. How do we deal with such problems? Remember that in the first video, I introduced you to a rule that never add or subtract denominators. So that is where we are going to apply it. I cannot say that I am adding my numerators here because I don't have the same denominator. One denominator is quite bigger than the other or greater than the other. So I need to first get a common denominator. Okay. So by getting a common denominator, one may ask that how do I go about it? Some will go the LCM way, looking for the multiples of all the denominators and the common multiples, then arriving at the least common multiple. That is also good. But since one is a factor of the other, meaning that one can divide the other. So here, let us introduce ourselves to one new thing. 3 will go into 9. How many times? 3 goes into 9 3 times. Okay. So if I divide 9 by 3 and I'll get 3, that means that if I multiply here by 3, I will get 9. Okay. And by doing this, one rule is that you're looking for the equivalent fraction of the fraction 1 out of 3. But since you're looking for the equivalent fraction of the fraction 1 out of 3, that means that whatever you do to the denominator, you do the same thing to the numerator. So here we come and we multiply our numerator by also 3. So the fraction should be rewritten. Okay, so I come here, I get 3 times 1 gives me 3. 3 times 3 gives me 9. So the fraction 1 out of 3 is the same thing as what? 3 out of 9. So I've rewritten the fraction. Then I come and do my addition. You get to see that this takes us back to the first video, whereby we're having the same denominators. And if you're having the same denominators, what do? You keep that denominator as 9. Then all that you have to do is 3 plus 2. So I'll come here. This step normally we don't give mark for it, but just for you to be rest assured that you've kept one denominator and you are adding your numerators. So I've kept my denominator, I'm now adding my numerators. 3 plus 2 will give me what? 5. So my final answer will be what? 5 out of 9. Alright. And that is one method that we can stick with. Some will also say that, okay, with this same question, I want to go the lowest common multiple way, or least common multiple. Okay, so I have 1 out of 3 plus 2 out of 9. So another method that I can also use is that, okay, if I cannot go through this, then let me look for the multiples of what? 3. So I'll come here and say that multiples of 3 are, I have 3, okay, 6, 9, 12, 15. Let me pause it there for now. Maybe I'll get a common multiple as early as possible. Then I come to multiples of the number 9, okay. Multiples of the number 9, I have 9, I have 18. But as soon as I wrote the 9, something clicked that this number was written in the multiples of 3. So that means that I circle this, I circle that. Those are the common multiples. Those are the common multiples that I see for now. If you like, you can just add 18 here so that you get 18 also. But since my common multiples happen to be 9 and 18, I write them like this. Now I look for the lowest common multiple. My lowest common multiple between 9 and 18, 9 is the lowest. Okay, alright, 9 is the lowest. So I take 9 as my lowest common multiple, then I bring it here. Okay, so in doing that, 9 is my lowest common multiple. Then here I come in and say that 3 goes into 9. How many times? Is it not the same thing as saying 3 goes into 9? Since 1 is the factor of the other, you can just go straight by doing that. So 3 goes into 9 how many times? It goes into 9 3 times. Then that 3 will come up to multiply this numerator. So 3 times 1 gives us 3. Then plus 9 goes into 9 once. 1 times 2 also gives us what? 2. So basically we arrive at the same thing. 3 plus 2 gives us what? 5 out of 9. That is your answer. Alright. So basically you can go that route or the shortest route of one dividing the other, then you move on with it. Okay, let's have a problem for the day so that we solve it and see how fast we will be able to grasp this. Okay, with this, someone will say that, okay, you give us this one, we're supposed to do subtraction also and other things. We go through the same thing. Okay, so for instance, if I am given 7 out of 15, then I'm given here to be, let's say, 1 out of 3. Okay, 1 out of 3, 7 out of 15, and I have here to be minus. Okay, let's try our hands on this and let's see. Just pause the video, try your hands and let's see. Okay, alright, so after going through, let us go through together and see. 15 and 3. I see that 3 multiplied by a particular number gives me 15. Or basically 3 is a factor of 15, meaning that 3 can divide 15. So we go through the first method and say that how many times or which number will multiply 3 for me to get 15? Or how many 3's do we have in what? In 15. We can go by saying 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So 3 can divide 15 how many times? 5 times. So we say that let us multiply here by 5. We multiply here by 5. Alright. So let us move on and see. Here we rewrite the whole question by writing this equivalent fraction here. So 1 times 5 gives us what? 5. 3 times 5 also gives us what? Okay, 15. Now our problem is 7 out of 15 minus 5 out of 15, which takes us to what we did in grade 4 and what we've also done in grade 3 already. So since the denominators are the same, we keep a denominator, then we subtract our numerators. 7 minus 5 gives us what? 2. Then 2 out of what? 15. Bingo! Thank you. If you're able to solve it, sharp for that. If you're not able to solve it, go through the examples again. Or if you encounter any problem that you would want me to help with, please give me a shout out. My WhatsApp number is there. Math is Fun by PK. Share so that your friends in other schools will also benefit from this. Thank you.